Hey Kirby, so this video I want to go into Dave Ramsey, and this is not going to be any shade or any, negative sayings against him or anything like that, but from someone who analyzes things very deeply, such as yourself, I'm curious to hear what are your top two pros and your top two cons about Dave Ramsey and the message maybe that he teaches.
All right, speak for yourself when you say this might not be a hit piece. But but pros, the number one pro for me is, I mean, everybody get cringeworthy when you hear the word save money. I remember having a conversation, I believe it was last weekend when I came back from trip up north. Um, and I was talking to a guy, and then I told him, stop spending money. That's my message to everybody is stop spending money. What's the first thing to do? Stop spending money. And then he came back with, I ain't gonna say it was a slick comment, but he came back with something that was crazy. He said, well, you can't get rich by saving money. True. That is true. But then I asked him, based on how much money are you saying this with? And then I always say stop spending money because I mean the word save money, people get turned off by that. Just stop spending because you always need assets, you always need capital to make the next thing happen. So if you stop spending money and store capital, not save it, you store the capital to deploy it to do something else that's beneficial. So Dave Ramsey is big on that. I mean, he says save, and people get turned off by that word, but I think that's the number one thing. Everybody always want to know how to make more money, how to make more money, how to make more money. The first thing is stop spending on stupid stuff. So that one right there is huge for me. Another one that Dave Ramsey said that's just an absolute pro for me is invest at least 15% of your income. Well, he don't say at least, he say 15%, but investing at least 15% of your income for me, that's like the bare minimum. 15% is the bare minimum. And I know it's people gonna be he and hawing about, oh well, I can't do it in my life. No, you can do it. Make more income and still save it. Your 9 to 5 is not good enough. If your 9 to 5 was good enough, then you wouldn't be calling Dave Ramsey. So instead of sitting there playing video games, watching a football game, hanging out with family members, hanging out with friends that's broke also, find a way to bring more revenue to your house. I don't care what it is. My moral range is long. I don't care how it is, but bring some more bring some more income to the house to save the money to invest it. And when I say I don't care, I don't care. So you take that what you will, but you need to make more income to be able to save and invest to have a better future. If not, you're gonna be working till the day you die. I mean, I don't know if people do the math, pay attention to what's going on. Prices are getting higher, no matter if it's rent, no matter if it's mortgage, no matter if it's mortgage rates, no matter if it's cost of goods, cost of services, groceries, gas, all that stuff. It's getting higher. It's inevitable. Your $100 in 1980 will not pay for the same things for $100 here in 2024 because prices are getting higher. I mean, $100 is still $100, but the cost or how far the $100 will go is getting very short, and it will keep going on to the end of time. So if you don't have the capital to invest, you're going to have to work to supplement the cost that's in your life. Because one thing that's not going to happen, as long as you live in a structured home, and I know it's solar panels out there, okay, but you're going to have to pay lights, gas, of course, cell phone, water, rent, mortgage, taxes, even if your house paid off, insurance, if or you can go self-insure if you want to live YOLO. Those bills are still coming. Then you add in medical costs. Then you add in groceries. That's just to wake up, stay in the same house, do nothing, absolutely nothing, but the bare minimum for the rest of your life. Those bills are going to come every day. So you need that income to cover that. If not, you're gonna be working to the day you die, and only person you got to blame is yourself. But before I go to the cons, Alex, what you got on the pros for Dave?
Yeah, those two pros I think are crucial. Spending less money, living on less than you make, and investing a minimum of 15%. You and I have always invested way above 15%, but it's a minimum. Um, I think those two steps people miss out on, they don't do, and it's two simple steps that will, accelerate their growth. For me, the two pros, the first one I would say is The Dave Ramsey plan, the seven baby steps, it's very easy to follow. It doesn't take much mental effort or any crazy exercise that you have to do in order to execute it. It's laid out for you. It's a simple step-by-step process. And then, the second pro with that, in my opinion, is that it's successful. His plan is proven to be successful. We've seen, not every person go through it, but a few of the or a majority of the people we hear on his show or have seen on his pages and stuff talk about being a baby step seven millionaire. Once they reach step seven, you're either right there close to closing on $1 million or you are a millionaire already. So it's proven to work. So I think that it's an efficient plan that it's simple to follow, easy to follow, it works, and at the same time, you for most people that have that idea or that fantasy of reaching $1 million, once you complete the seven baby steps, you achieve that goal. So I think that, in my opinion, those are the two pros that I would say that are the top two pros about following Dave Ramsey.
Yeah. And we mentioned on here many a time that if you follow the steps of Dave Ramsey, most people, let's say 80% of people will work, 9 to 5 jobs. Let's even go a little bit higher, 90%. And then, you add in if you still lucky enough to get pension, great, kudos to you. But if you add in Dave Ramsey baby steps, then you add in the fact of you're saving 15%. Let's add in the fact that you're lowering a cost that you won't that will be prevalent if you don't paying off the house. That's great. All those things combined with Social Security, 401k plan, and then the rest of the steps that Dave Ramsey say, living on less than you make. So now you built up a 15, 20, 30 year program of doing that. When you hit said retirement age, you will be good to go. Of course, you'll be taking about 4 or 5% from your retirement accounts, you know, and then you got your 401k plan there, then you got Social Security, and then if you got the pension, then you're good to go. You can be able to live, and then you'll have a chunk of money if you want to go on one big vacation, just you and your significant other. I ain't saying go YOLO and bring the whole family on a vacation, but you got some money to do that. You got money to spoil the grandkids if that's the option you choose to do. But that's what 85% of the people on earth needs to do. They just need to get on there, follow the steps, follow the steps, follow the steps, and then work your way through. And then when you get there to that age, um, I'm of the breath and going to the cons of it. And it's really not a con. It's really just my preference. I don't want to wait for nobody. I don't ask for permission. You know, I want to be able to do it in a more exponential time way before. So that's why, i.e., buy businesses, i.e., buy real estate to cover those monthly costs already. But so now going to the con of it, the con of the Dave Ramsey, and people gonna say I'm shallow, mean, whatever. Is Alex? I don't do baby step seven. I mean, I'm not giving just to give. Now I give, but I give to people who just can't do it. I mean, like if you're a 75, 80-year-old mom who child died and now you have to take over the responsibility of the grandkids. I'm all for helping that. I'm not all for helping a 40, 50, 30-year-old person finance their life because they want to continue to make stupid decisions. Uh, I believe in causes. I don't believe in charity. So if I'm doing something, I'm doing it. I'm not giving it to a charity to do it. I understand the tax write-offs and all that other BS, but I'm doing it. I don't during the holidays, even though I don't celebrate, I don't go give money to a charity to go pass out turkeys, pass out hams for Thanksgiving and Christmas. I take the money out of my pocket because I don't need the recognition or the tax write-off for it. I'm doing it because I want to do it, and then give it to families that can't afford it. That's how I look at it. I mean, of course, to continue to build wealth, I'm all for that. But just to give, I'm not just giving because a lot of these people. I have a mantra. I have a mantra about that because in my life, listening to causes is the only reason why they pitching me causes is because they know I have the money. And they just listen, they just, want the money. But then I look at their perspective, especially at these charities, only 10, 15% of the money that I'm donating is going towards the cause. Everything else is going to administrative costs. So I'm really paying people salaries to help, but the little money that I'm given to help don't even go towards the cause that I care about. I might care about the cause, but I damn sure don't care about employing your people. And I know how charities work. They have to get the income to come in to pay these employees, but that's not a problem. That's why I choose to do it myself and not donate to charities. I mean, I do other things for charities. My family do other things for charities, but I don't. Just giving the money is not one of the things on my list of things. Um, and then when I go to the second thing that just a thing that I'm not gonna say a con I don't agree with. And again, I'm speaking from a spectrum of I'm not trying to wait till I'm 65 to retire. Is paying off the house. Now I've paid off my house, but and I did it because of the Dave Ramsey plan. But I see that capital could have went somewhere else. But again, for most majority of people, they need to pay off the house to eliminate that bill. They need to get that off the docket. So that's something that they don't have to worry about because insurance and taxes is still gonna go up no matter what. So that's one element. Only reason why is because me being somebody that's in the markets, understanding money, I could have used that capital to go somewhere else to make more money. That's the only minute thing that I did. But most people, they're not going to do the homework. They're not going to put in the time. They're not going to do the work to even do that element of it. So for majority of the people, and for most people, everybody's watching the show, you need to go pay off your house because your concentration range when it comes to actual finance, you can't even you can't even read a financial book. Hell, forget the financial book. You can't even sit there and watch a financial podcast without being distracted. So you just need to pay off your house to get that over with. So when you turn 65, that's one thing that your kids don't have to deal with, worrying about where mom and dad gonna stay because they didn't pay off the house and they can't afford to look to keep it. So those are the two cons for me.
My two cons would be the first one is for someone that has aspirations or goals to become, a deca millionaire or someone of that level that, has to grow rapidly, that, wants to excel in, real estate investing, stock investing, starting a business, anything where you might have to take out debt, that if you have the financial literacy to manage that debt and excel the growth of whatever that endeavor is, you can't do that following the Dave Ramsey plan. So you kind of stick to a life where you're kind of limited, you're capped. And it seems kind of restraining in that sense. I mean, definitely those who have become baby step millionaires or everyday millionaires, they have a lot more financial freedom than the average American, but I think they have so much more potential, but they're kind of choosing to jail themselves within these seven baby steps. In a certain way of investing or following a certain way of following a financial path. The second con that I have is that I believe because of this, they stay stuck at and limited to their income coming from a job. And so you have to work until retirement age. Maybe you can retire a little bit earlier, but you see a lot of the Dave Ramsey followers, and the majority of their net worth is wrapped up in their primary residence and their 401k. Even the personalities on Dave Ramsey. And not to, talk bad about any of the people that follow Dave Ramsey or any of the personalities, but even like George Camel on the show, who I really like. I mean, I think he's a great personality to fit Dave Ramsey and continue on that legacy with the Dave Ramsey show. Um, he fits it perfectly, but there's some videos where he was speaking with, I think, Graham Stephan, and his net worth is mostly, I think about like 80-90% was wrapped up in just his primary residence and his 401k. So if he left, if he got fired or left working for Dave Ramsey, he would have to find another job. There's not any residual income coming from any other investments that could pay for his life or his lifestyle. So those would be my cons on the
Hmm.
Dave Ramsey plan.
Yeah, when you first started, I was about to say, Alex, I'm about to disagree with you like a mug, but no, you're right. But again, a key element of it is Dave Ramsey's talking to 85% of the population. 85% of the population, like, and you posted it in the Discord when you showed the line with the people who want change, and then the line with people who want to do to make change. Everybody want it. Everybody want to retire early, but ain't nobody willing to do what it takes to get there. So Dave Ramsey message goes correct for that long line that you had out there that won't change, but they don't want to do nothing for it. And then that's why, a lot of people don't get it done because they don't want to put in the work. Dave Ramsey message is 100% true for 85% of the investors. But you brought up a great point. If your net worth is tied in your home and in your 401k, now remember, Dave Ramsey is a proponent of never taking on debt. So let's say you get to let's say you get to retirement age. Let's say most jobs don't have pension no more. So the only thing you have is Social Security. I mean, let's say you're getting close to retirement age and you want to leave. There's no way you can leave, especially following Dave Ramsey plan, because you can never refinance your house because Dave don't believe in debt. So that net worth in your house mean nothing because you can never utilize it. If you follow in the Dave Ramsey plan, you can never utilize it. So I mean, you can sell the house, of course, and then you can have a lump sum, but then you got to pay for another place to live. Or you can go rent somewhere and you just have that money just being siphoned off every month for the rent. But that is the key. There is no net worth, and we talk about all the time. Net worth means nothing. It's the cash flow that comes in. The cash flow that comes in. And then the same thing with the 401k. Depending on what you invested in. Again, the keyword dependent on what you invested in. Uh, Are you receiving dividends? Are you receiving enough in dividends to supplement the Social Security that you have to pay for the lifestyle that you want? That's so those elements are absolutely true. So if you really have, let's say, a $2.5 million house, but the only way that you can ever see the 2.5 million is if you sell the house. What's the point of having the 2.5 million?
Seeing the other thing too is like Dave, he's a big proponent on, the investments that you have in mutual funds, have them be, growth stocks, so it's kind of pointing to that direction of like S&P, NASDAQ, something like that. But we both know that the dividend rate on those is like 1% or less. So it would take you like 5 million invested, making 1% on that 50 grand. And then you can, live on the dividends, but it would take so much money.
Yeah, the 15% for the average job, let's say the average job makes 50, let's say 60,000 a household. And 15% of 60,000 is what? You tell
9,000.
me, Alex.
9,000.
9,000. 9,000 over 60 years is how much? I pull out a calculator. Alex private school education starting to fail on me, y'all. 9,000
It's gonna be like
times
540,000.
that's 540,000, right? So 540,000, I mean, if we compound that at, I mean, this is 60 years, right? This is 60 years. Most people work maybe 40, 45. Well, I mean, these days they got to work longer, but so that's a $500,000 saved. If you compound it over 60 years, and it's a couple million. It's a couple million. It really is. But the element of it is the bills are still coming. You still got to have that same mentality with that lump sum that you had with the that you had in your working day. So you work to siphon off money to invest to hold away, live below your means. So now you hit retirement age and you probably got another good 20 years. Do you still live that way? Or do you sit there and say, I worked all this time to do it, and then now I'm here and I still got to live that life? That's what I'm saying. So you need millions upon millions. And then I know for the people that's looking out there, you're gonna be like, oh well, 60 years. Most people ain't working 60 years. But I just put that number as a matrix. 60 years, and then compounded at 10%. Most of y'all don't even know how to find a fund that returns 10%. But that'll be, I don't know what's that? 7.8 million? 7.8 million. And then now remember, 10 hours of your day has been spent on traveling and working, traveling to work, working, travel. So now you got 10 extra hours per day to sit there and spend money. And then if you want to, pass down the legacy and all that other stuff, then what? I mean, Dave Ramsey, like I said, I'll say it 100 times. Dave Ramsey saved my ass a lot. Um, and it is for majority of the people that's going to work to retirement age. If you follow the plan, you'll be fine. But if you half-ass it and then you don't do the plan, then you're screwed. That's just the true element of it. If you want change but just think the government's going to save you, you're screwed. Or you're just going to be working till you're dead. Maybe that's what most people want because they don't do the math. They don't look past the weekend, but that's probably where they should be.
That being said, guys, if you have any questions, any comments, let us know down below. Don't forget to like this video, share, subscribe. We'll see you guys on the next one.